It's funny. So I shaved today, right? And I was like, I haven't shaved in like a week, so it was pretty furry, and I was like, maybe I should just go back to a beard, you know? Oh, fuck it, I'll shave one more time. And so I did, and I was like, oh, it actually turned out pretty good. And I had my other pair of blue light glasses on, the horn-rimmed ones, and I was playing a game and went in, used the bathroom, and I was standing there washing my hands, and I looked in the mirror, and I was like, I look like Colonel fucking Sanders. Hold on, I'll show you. 11 herbs and spices.
Yeah, you look like a young fucking old colonel.
Something wrong with his medulla oblongata. Yeah, I'm like,
something wrong with your medulla oblongata, Colonel Sanders.
You know why alligators are so angry? So yeah, I was just like, oh my God, I'm definitely going back to a beard. Yeah.
It is, you're very sharp today. Very sharp. Like,
I had to rehone my straight razor skills for this.
I was, when we were talking on that last one, I was looking at those, and I was just kind of wondering, it's got to be a straight razor.
Yeah. I used to do it with like a regular, like Bic style, but once you start using a straight razor, like there's no going back. Yeah. Because you're just manly as fuck. Just like,
yeah, I would get like a massive one just to be fucking like...
You like see me using a regular size one, you pull out with a bigger one, then I get an even bigger one. Before you know it, I got one. Fuck! Go to shave, cut my fucking shoulder off. Like, yeah. 11 herbs and spices. Anyway. Doctor?
Doctor.
We got some doctoring to do.
Continuation with the last one. I mean, in the doctoral practice, you have to kind of just turn, finger every crevice, you know, unfold every little...
You gotta get all up in everything. I like how you did the Secret Service earpiece too. It was perfect.
I was getting my orders.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about Freemasons.
Freemasonry.
This one's been in the queue for a while.
Yeah. We've been doing this whole series, kind of, if you will, on secret societies. Knights Templar and the Freemasons. Not so much secret anymore, but they are societies with secrets.
Very secretive.
Very secretive societies.
Super. So
it's no secret that they exist
yeah.
anymore, but they do hold secrets.
They do hold secrets. You know, and I kind of wonder about like the parallel of just saying we're secretive making you more interesting. Like, do they really have secrets, or are they just like, hey, we're secretive, and that makes people interested and want to join?
Well, you know, a club that has secret handshakes, pretty secretive.
They do have a secret handshake.
I know, it's like...
It's like those videos you see like on TikTok where they come up with the gayest handshakes possible, yeah. Where they like dap up and shit, and then they like suck their thumbs, and then they fucking stop and go like this to each other and shit. Yeah, that's probably what it is.
Probably.
You've
never been to a Masonic lodge, so that's what I assume.
I assume it's pretty gay.
Yeah, they lift up their fucking apron.
Yeah, they like pull up the pant legs, show the breast. Yeah. You know, which part of their actual ritual. It's documented. Did you ever see the Simpsons episode from way back in the day where they were making fun of Freemasons?
I don't know.
Instead, it was I think they called them stone cutters.
I don't know.
I remember there's a scene where they're in Homer's basement and it's flooding, so he gets a plumber over, and then they like accidentally do the secret handshake, and it's like outlandish and stupid. Then they both pull up their shirt, and they have the stone cutter shirt on, and they even have like a meeting, but it looks more like hellfire than Freemasons. They're all at this long table drinking and talking shit.
See, so how secret it's out there in the ether of people's knowledge. Most people have, well, I don't know. It seems to me like most people have heard of Freemasonry.
Yeah.
Especially in America, because there's so many founding fathers that were Freemasons.
Yeah, and there's Masonic lodges fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
There's a huge one downtown.
Yeah.
I know there's a couple others.
It's supposedly very haunted also.
It's allegedly super haunted. We're going to have to find out for ourselves at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, odd that we have so many founding fathers, so many influential public figures across history that are Freemasons.
Yeah, it is a staggering amount of people. I don't think it's odd though, looking at the history of the Knights Templar, where the Knights Templar left off, or the historical record of the Knights Templar left off in the beginning of the the Freemasons. I don't think that it's odd that so many of those founding fathers who came to the Americas and were here in the Americas were Freemasons. I don't think that that's a coincidence at all.
No, not at all. I think it's strangely coincidental how many of these secret societies have kind of come together in a way to form our country.
Mm-hmm.
So George Washington was a Mason.
Yes.
And he
53 out of the 56 people that signed the Declaration of Independence were Freemasons.
Yeah. But, you know, that's our America Daddy right there.
Yeah.
But he was also dead convinced that the Illuminati had infiltrated the U.S. government.
Mm-hmm.
But Benjamin Franklin was also a Freemason. But he was also involved with the Hellfire Club.
Yeah.
So it's strange how many of these secret societies have formulated our country.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, you look at all those things, and especially what's going on now and the information that's coming out in the Epstein files of, like, all this heinous shit that's been happening by these people who are supposed members of these different secret societies, or, like, have ties to, like...
The Illuminati.
Illuminati, yeah. It's gross, but Freemasons and Knights Templar seem to be mostly on the other side of that.
Yeah. And Hitler devoutly hated Freemasons.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody that Hitler hated, was probably a decent person.
Probably. Probably.
Well...
I think Hitler hated most people.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, he did hate Jews, and with the current state of affairs in the world, they're kind of not the most popular people right now.
Yeah.
So maybe my logic is flawed on that.
Yeah.
But it is pretty entertaining how much he despised Freemasons.
Yeah.
So that tells you that they were probably doing something right.
Probably doing something that was mostly opposed to what Hitler believed, and I can get on board with that.
I can as well, but I also think that is indirect parallel to the Knights Templar, because Hitler was all about finding the artifacts. Like, he really wanted the Spear of Longinus and the Holy Cross and the Holy Grail. Like, they mounted these incredible expeditions to try to find these things.
Maybe that's why Hitler hated the Masons,
Exactly.
because they were tied to the Knights Templar, who supposedly have all this shit.
Yeah.
And they removed it from the area, and so Hitler was like, "Those fucking assholes!
Das Asshole! Das Fuckface! Hands over the spear!"
Hand me the Spear of Longinus!
Well, I think that's part of it too, because in Germany, they outlawed all the lodges for the Freemasons, and they seized all of their assets.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was part of it, of like, if we take them over and we seize all their shit, we'll eventually get the trinkets we want.
Yeah.
I believe, anyway.
Yeah. Just to put this out there, so I was talking to Stitch the other day, and he's mentioned something like saying how you and I really like Hitler, or something like that. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, according to, I think he said Scott and somebody else, you guys think that Hitler was a good guy. Like, no. Listen to the episode. Like, we think that or I personally think that there was a lot more to the story of Hitler than what is presented to us.
That really makes me not want to tell Scott anything anymore.
Yeah.
I already have trouble with that, of like him taking something I say and twisting it the fuck around and then presenting it as I'm an evil person.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna fuck him up about that. But no, we don't like Hitler.
Yeah.
We don't agree with what the Nazis were doing.
Yeah.
It's just there's more to that story than the version we're told.
Right. There's so much more to the story, and if you actually look at it, look it up for yourself. Don't just take the history that was written in school by the people that want you to think a certain way.
Yeah.
Want you to think. Like,
we're talking about the same school books that paint America as the good guy in every conflict, and that's not fucking true.
the same school books that talk about Christopher Columbus as being this great explorer that found America.
He was a murderer.
He was a murderer
and a rapist.
And he didn't find shit.
No, Amerigo Vespucci allegedly found it, but even that is probably not true.
Well, Christopher Columbus went to Spain to get funding to come to the Americas because the Knights Templar were coming here already.
Yeah.
That's what he came and told the King of Spain, and the King of Spain was like, yeah, I have a deal with those guys. I'm not going to fund you for shit. I've got a lot of money invested over there. Yeah. I'm not giving you shit. And so he went to Portugal and then got funded by the Portuguese.
Yeah. So it's all horseshit. And no, we don't like fucking Hitler.
Yeah.
The story is fascinating, and there's a lot of lore with Nazism, especially with things like the Vril Society or Die Glocke, or their like pursuit of mystical weapons and things like that. Like, that is fascinating to me.
Yeah.
And like that video you showed me recently where AI translated his speeches, and there was things he said that are true, like how governments can take control of a population by using the word freedom, by guising it as freedom, but really it's control. There are things about it that I do understand.
Yeah, and mostly it was like, you look at the parallels of what he's saying and what's going on now, and it's like, it seems like history is repeating itself, like, because most people don't know the actual history of what happened, so it's a lot easier to repeat the same cycle of like mistrust through government manipulation.
Yeah. Because we're just so ingrained with Nazi equal bad that we can't question it anymore.
Yeah.
And therefore you get this presentation that when you talk about it in a different sense other than just Nazi equal bad, somebody thinks you're a fucking Hitler lover.
Yeah, you're a fucking Nazi lover. No. I think that there's a lot more to the story. Like, I think the Nazi regime did terrible things, 100%. They fucking were gross.
And of course, a far left liberal would fucking perpetuate that. What a dick. Anyway, let's go back to Freemasons.
Anyways, Freemasonry.
So yeah, this was super interesting. Like the whole thing. Some of it kind of has an occultish smell to it.
A little bit.
Like their initiation ritual where you have to pull up your pant leg and show your breast, and under pain of death, while they hold the sword to you, you have to basically pledge allegiance. That's fucking weird.
That is weird. A lot of that, I think, stems from the origins of the Masons, of where they were. So, if you look at different accounts of where the Freemasons came from, some lodges or whatever say they have records that go back to the building of Solomon's Temple. For the most part, the first Masonic lodge was established in like the 1700s in Scotland, England, in that area.
Scotland?
One of those isles. But yeah, they say they go back millennia of this knowledge, and like the Masons were a group of laborers who were brick masons, and they would pass down. Most of them were illiterate, but they spoke this language of geometry pretty much, If you look at all the architecture that was done in that time using a fucking chisel and a hammer, they had to be master masons. And so they wouldn't, like, if the church or if the government was trying to build something, they wouldn't just hire fucking Joe Schmo off the street to go and do this thing. They wanted somebody that knew what they were doing. So there was guilds of masons that would travel around to all these different places. And so if there was like a cathedral being built somewhere, this troop of masons would come in, set up a tent, a big tent that they called a lodge, and that would be their home base of like where they were getting ready and doing the work or sleeping and eating, whatever.
They were essentially like the first union.
Yeah, it was a workers' union. It really was. But in order to keep those, like, to know who's all actually in the know and is actually a mason and knows what they're doing, they would develop these secret handshakes so that, like, if you meet somebody, yeah, I'm here to do this work, and they go to shake your hand and then they do the fucking handshake wrong, you're like, this guy doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
They're like, this guy is clearly a plumber, not a fucking mason.
This guy is a seamstress, 100%.
Look how soft his hands are.
He looks like a chicken fucker to me.
So, yeah. They're illiterate, but they're just like,
yeah.
hypotenuse. Interesting. So, the 3 core degrees are an entered apprentice, fellowcraft, and a master mason.
Yeah. So these degrees are like the level of knowledge that you obtain through like going to the lodge and doing these ceremonies and like interacting through the lodge. And to me, it seemed the information that I got, you have to learn all these different aspects of masonry. Now, there is a difference between like stone masonry and like what it became as being like a philanthropic, yeah, just a knowledge based, not knowledge of like working stone, but knowledge of like working your own self to be a higher level or whatever.
It really is about reaching a higher level of
leveling
self
up your consciousness
and serving your community.
Right.
Which is kind of a weird parallel that you go from just a group of specialized workers to this kind of almost world-altering group that's almost a cult-like. It would be like in 600 years, they're like, oh yeah, the electricians union is shaping our current society,
right,
you know?
Right.
It's so weird to go from that to that.
Well, yeah, you think about that in the terms of like, at that time, if you were going to hire somebody to do work for you, you could set the wage, okay, I'm going to pay you 10 shillings to turn this deer hide into a fucking shirt or something, whatever they're doing. But the Masons, since they were a group of people that had, the only people that had this knowledge of how to do this shit, could set their own wages.
Yeah.
So it was literally a union where they would come and then they would be like commissioned to build this cathedral, and they would come in and say, yeah, you're going to pay us this amount, and we're going to do the work. And so they really had a big bargaining chip. So I think that it seems like they were able to set their own wages, so they made a lot of money. With money comes power, especially in the Middle Ages. And
yeah.
So you get all these people who are making a lot of money, and then their kids don't really have to be stonemasons anymore. They can be like...
They can go to school.
Go to school and still carry on the traditions of the masonry group, but now it's transformed into something else.
Yeah. It's interesting, like, going through the research and seeing that trajectory.
Yeah.
Because now it's more this, like, super influential group. You know, going back to what we were saying with the Founding Fathers being Freemasons, or Winston Churchill, or Harry Houdini, all these influential figures throughout histories were actually Freemasons.
Yeah.
And everybody knows somebody who is a Freemason, like a legitimate one.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I did tell Scott we were doing a Freemasons episode. He's like, you should have Jard on. And I was like, I don't have a microphone powerful enough to pick up his voice.
Yeah.
He'd just be like, Freemasons and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. So Jard is my brother-in-law. I don't know if he's practicing, if he still goes to lodge, but he's in the order. And it's like a fraternal brotherhood, almost like, I think a lot of people use it as a replacement for like going to church or something.
Yeah.
It's the same kind of community and like bonding with people who are in different industries and stuff like that. But so my wife's great grandpa was a Freemason. I think he was like a 32nd degree Mason, might have been 33rd, Master Mason, and super interesting guy. Really interesting life story. A lot of that I think has ties with being a Mason, with his connections and stuff like that. But he was able to, so he was like a World War II veteran, came back, started like a radio broadcast, like a radio show or a radio station. This is in like somewhere in Southern California. Was like a newscaster or something like that, and then ended up owning a small airport. And then he ran that airport for a little while and then became a writer. And he wrote like a bunch of novels.
This guy is a fucking like Hunter S. Thompson type character. Okay.
And then, so he was a Freemason, and but he ended up being like pretty wealthy. He had one of those cliffside mansions in Malibu.
Tony Stark.
Yeah. And I don't know a whole lot about him, but I do have a few of his novels, and they're like Western novels.
Like a Louis L'Amour type thing.
Yeah. I haven't read them yet, but very interesting guy. I just always thought it was interesting that he was a Master Mason, and I kind of wanted to know a little bit more about that. He's passed away, but like we were drinking the other day by the fire, and my wife was saying that her uncle is also a Mason, so we called him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, no, I'm not.
Yeah,
that wasn't like really my thing."
Or he's lying.
That's part of the Brotherhood.
That is part of the Brotherhood. It's they take an oath not to tell the secrets about Freemasons under pain of death, which is interesting when you think about the case of William Morgan, who he was a Mason, and he defected away from the organization, and he was going to come out with this book that was going to basically tell all their secrets. And he was like leading this anti-Masonic goal.
Campaign.
Yeah. And then he just disappeared.
Disappeared. Weird.
Yeah.
Weird. Yeah, so he disappeared. There was actually, wasn't there like people who were caught or like charged with his disappearance?
Yeah, but they were pretty much let off the hook.
Yeah, because like the sheriff and the judge were both members.
Yeah, they were both Masons. They were just like, yeah, well, fuck, man, we got to make a show of this.
These boys didn't do anything.
I don't think they did anything wrong. This guy just disappeared.
Yeah. Maybe he just fucked off to the west.
Yeah. Maybe he went and, I don't know, joined the Jews or something. Who cares? Yeah. There was that story, and then some other stories about some other messed up shit within the Masons, but it's kind of like the Templar stories about them kind of raiding and pillaging and stuff, where it's kind of anecdotal, but it doesn't affect the overall appearance of the group.
Yeah.
One thing that I do find interesting about Masons, apart from all these other secret societies, where the other ones were very like open to women, Masons were like no women allowed.
Yeah.
Like they had a handwritten sign on the front door of the lodge, no girls allowed. Classic Little Rascal style.
Yeah. what is it, He-Man woman haters?
He-Men woman haters. Yeah. They definitely were.
Yeah.
I mean, times have changed because they also didn't allow people of color.
Mm-hmm.
It was like white men only.
Mm-hmm.
And that's even where the KKK came from.
Yeah.
Because Masons started allowing black people in, and the KKK were kind of like the devout kind of zealot type. So the KKK is actually kind of like Freemasons, but with no colored folks.
Yeah. So the founder of the KKK was a master Mason, and so there was, what is his, Prince? It's the first black Masonic lodge in the Americas, Prince Hall, I think it's called, Prince Hall Mason, Prince Hall Lodge. He was actually born a free man, and so he went to England and became a Mason in England, because they didn't have the color thing that we had here in the Americas, the racial shit. And so he was actually ordained, or I don't know, if ordained, is that the right word?
It's the word I would use, because it's kind of a...
He was taken into the cloth of the Freemasons.
Yeah.
And then he came back here and then started a black sect, or a black lodge for black Masons. And I can't remember the guy's name. This founder of the KKK was...
Fuckface McGee.
Fuckface McGee was like, hell no, we're not letting these colored folks into our lodges. And so he started the Ku Klux Klan, which is like pretty gay.
Super gay.
Yeah.
Pretty evil.
Yeah.
We can't say anything positive about it. Scott will twist it up.
Yeah.
There's nothing positive to say about the KKK anyway. They're not like cool at all.
No.
Just evil.
They don't have any UFOs.
They don't have like super crazy technology. They don't have religious artifacts. They're not bound to mysticism. They're just cocksuckers.
Yeah.
That's all they are.
Should be known as the gay.
Gay. I agree. So the square and compass, the logo of the Freemasons, it represents morality, discipline, and balance. Those are all things that we can all get behind.
Yeah.
And with the G representing geometry.
Yeah. Some people say it represents geometry in the middle of the square and compass, or there are sects that say that represents God, is like the moral compass.
Yeah, because they one of their requirements is you have to believe in a monotheistic God.
Mm-hmm.
Not polytheistic. You can't believe in like the pantheons. And one guy even tried to use Norse as his kind of like god of choice, but they didn't deem Odin as being in that same pantheon as like our traditional Judeo-Christian god.
Yeah.
Which was kind of funny. He's just like, let me see if I can get in with this ticket.
Yeah.
And they're just like, nah, bro.
Yeah, they believe that you have to, or they say that you have to believe in a higher power than yourself, whether that's like Christianity, Judaism, if you're Muslim, Islam. Doesn't really matter as long as you believe in a higher deity, which is, pretty all-inclusive, especially for the time.
It's a really interesting aspect that is such a devout requirement.
Yeah.
Like you have to believe in a God, not even specifically the same God I believe in. You have to believe in one of them, but it has to like meet a certain criteria. It's interesting to me, but it has that direct parallel to the Knights Templar where they believe in a Christos. So I can kind of see where they're coming from with you have to believe in a higher power than yourself so that we can ingrain you with kind of the actual method forward, like what the actual secrets of the universe may hold.
Yeah.
Not saying that's what they do, but you have to be open-minded enough to know your place in a way. Like you're here, but then there's this entire cosmos of energy or whatever. You know what I mean? So I do kind of understand it.
And who's to say that that's not really what they might have the knowledge of, is like this knowledge that's been passed down for centuries and centuries through, and they've collected all this, especially the prehistoric knowledge, the pre-existing history of what we've been taught, but outside of that, and they claim that a lot of the Knights Templars found some of this, a lot of this documents and teachings and research through alchemy and Hermeticism, and were passed down and transformed into the Mason lodges. Who's to say that they don't actually have some of these secret things, and only the highest master masons actually know what's going on?
It wouldn't shock me in the least if they did have a lot of classic esoteric knowledge like that, if they're just kind of sitting on it. I mean, you're talking about this group that tries to influence the overall flow of the world, not in the same way of the Illuminati with kind of a New World Order type of thing. It almost seems like they have knowledge, but they're trying to guide us to a certain destination.
Yeah, awakening of the collective consciousness that we could all be free if we would just put down these petty fucking arguments of race and color and
well, I mean, one of their perpetuations is brotherly love.
Yeah.
And obviously that changed over time, where it's we can have brotherly love, but only amongst white people.
Yeah.
Am I right, brother? Am I right, brother? And instead it's, now what the times have changed, whereas that includes people of different races and religions and that sort of thing. And even to a degree women, because women have their kind of offshoots of the Masonic lodges.
There have been now Masonic lodges that are include women and atheists as well.
Yeah.
A lot of the other lodges don't really recognize them as being real Masonic lodges, but they practice pretty much the same things.
I mean, it's all under one umbrella.
Yeah.
I mean, because you have I didn't delve enough into this breakdown of it, but you have the French Masons and the Scottish Masons are kind of the OGs, and they practice similar but slightly different. It's kind of like a Christian versus a Seventh-day Adventist.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. They just practice it slightly different.
Right.
So yeah, it really is all the same thing. They still have the same core tenets. They just do it a little bit differently.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are still Masonic lodges that are still hey, no black folks.
Oh, yeah. KKK is alive and well.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I don't imagine anybody's really supporting them anymore.
I want to say they are not, but...
Well, you're right, because we also think the same thing about Nazis. No, Nazis are dead. No, there's still small pockets of retards who still believe that shit.
Yeah.
They're totally...
There's a whole town in Argentina.
We have people here in America who still think that they're a Nazi, which, sorry, you're stupid.
That's my whole thing. Going back to that thing is I believe in the freedom to be as dumb as you fucking want to be.
It just... Freedom is free, but it's not consequence free.
Right.
It's kind of you have the freedom to go into a black neighborhood and yell the N-word. What happens after that is the consequence of that action.
Yes.
So it's the same thing with Nazism. You are free to believe whatever dumb fucking ideology you want, but you're not free from the consequence of that.
Yeah.
If somebody, if you get banned from Twitter because you're perpetuating Nazism, that's on you.
Freedom does not exclude ignorance in any way.
Perfectly said. Perfect. So, yeah. Anyway, let's talk about The government influence. Again, I kind of want to go back to that.
Because it's even if you look at something as simple as like our money.
The all-seeing eye.
A dollar bill has so many. There's a isn't there a square and a compass with the G on it on the dollar bill?
I haven't looked at one in a long time. I couldn't tell
but
you.
The all-seeing eye is definitely on the back of the $1 bill.
And it's on top of a pyramid, which is built by Masons.
Yeah.
The Latin phrase "e pluribus unum,"
Know thyself.
in one many, or fuck. I purposely remembered that, and as soon as it like came out of my mouth, lost it.
Oh wait, no, I'm thinking of the Matrix.
Know thyself. Yeah, it's the sign above the door.
Yeah.
E pluribus unum. Out of many, one. Which is kind of an interesting take on it. It kind of goes back to that consciousness, the Christos. We are many, but we are one.
Mm-hmm. We're all connected.
We're all connected.
We are all the same.
It's true. We are all part of a whole.
What does he say in Fight Club?
You're not your fucking khakis?
Yeah, we are all, I don't know. They're like talking, it's like chanting while they're like doing the whole montage.
Oh, yeah. Fuck, what is it? I know what you're talking
We are
about.
all part of the same compost heap.
Yeah. And his name was whatever. I can't remember. God, I haven't seen that in fucking forever either. Anyway, yeah, the government influence, like in the Capitol building, you know, you see in the Mason work above, you see the Freemason logo. It's everywhere in the monuments in Washington, D.C.
Everywhere.
They even say the streets are in a geometric pattern in Washington, D.C. I was like kind of delving into that, but I didn't want to get too stuck on it because I will rabbit hole the fuck out of it.
So much so that even the obelisk of the, I think it's the Lincoln Memorial that has the big obelisk.
Yeah.
On different days of the year, the shadow points to different reference points in the Capitol, in the city.
Yeah.
And I want to say that design from these dates creates a pentagram. Interesting. Like even the layout of the streets is like, makes a square and a compass.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
It's, like I said, I didn't want to get too into it because I knew I would just get stuck there.
Yeah.
And not like delve into the history and shit. I'd just be like, conspiracy.
Yeah, if you look at if you watch National Treasure and the way he's talking about all the way the shit is set up, and a lot of the stuff that he's talking about, that they talk about in that movie, is real.
Yeah.
It's like real historical shit that the Freemasons set up, unbeknownst to like most of the population who don't understand the references now. It's like a little Easter eggs of like what they were actually doing.
Well, I think, you know, kind of like the through line between that and Knights Templar is kind of like that slow leak, that soft disclosure thing where we're putting the truth in plain sight, but you're not paying attention to it. Mm-hmm. And kind of thinking about that, this just came to me, so I'm just going to word vomit it out there. You think about, I've mentioned this many times, is Spielberg makes these movies about aliens, right? Like Close Encounters of the Third Kind and E.T. And it kind of seems like a soft disclosure. In fact, there are little pieces of evidence that support he was actually disclosing for the government. But you know what else Steven Spielberg made? Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Which prominently featured the Knights Templar and the Ark of the Covenant. Mm-hmm. And then you think about like National Treasure, where these things they're pointing out in the movie are factual within the realm of Freemasons. Mm-hmm. So it's almost like they're just dangling that carrot, like, this is the truth, by the way. Yeah. But it's palatable because it's a fucking Nick Cage movie and it's fun.
It is a super fun movie.
And sorry, I'm just gonna tangent. The second one is almost as good, and I don't know why people hate it.
I love both of those. I wish there was more.
Nick Cage, what are you doing, man?
Yeah. Come up with another story. I'm sure there's plenty in the Knights Templar and Freemasons realm of body of work that you can, breadcrumb us through another tale.
And we know you need money, so.
So Hugh Newman, who again is a Master Mason and part of the Knights Templar Order, talks about how part of the mission of the Knights Templar and going into the Freemasons was coming to the Americas to establish and create new Atlantis. Mm-hmm. And so if that's true, the knowledge that's trickling down from the Knights Templar into the Freemasons, the people that were coming over to the Americas, being our founding fathers, who were mostly all Masons, had that knowledge also, and are setting up this city in Washington, D.C., to represent what they believe as like New Atlantis, with the technology and the teachings that were passed down through unwritten, sometimes, knowledge. Could that be possible? I don't doubt it.
Could it be possible?
Could it be possible?
I think it totally is possible, and I feel like Freemasons have had such a huge hand in creating our current America's culture, right? From the start. What did you say? It was 53 out of 56? So it's, the influence is there, but kind of in the same way that the Templars had, captured all these trinkets and all this knowledge, and they've hidden it away. I kind of feel like it's the same with Masons. They just hid more of it in plain sight, that you have to put the pieces together. It's such an interesting thing with the geometry of the city, and the way, like you're saying, on a certain day, this obelisk creates a shadow that points at this thing, that it's like they put all this out there for anyone to see it.
Yeah.
And the secrecy has to be kept, but they still want people to find it, in a way.
Well, yeah.
It's like the perfect scavenger hunt.
Yeah, they talk about it in that Tim Horton episode. It's not him, but it's this lady that's talking about it, how a lot of the government beliefs and the Masons' influence in that was like representing both the male and female aspects of God, of being like both feminine and masculine at the same time, represented through the Christos and the Sophia, which are like the God, or the God and Goddess entities. It's both male and female. So if you look at like the statues, a lot of the statues in Washington, D.C. are of the statue of Columbia, which is a male or female goddess, Columbia, and that's like how it represents the female, like deity or whatever. There's so much like depth into so much shit that's hidden right in front of everybody, and then we don't see it, we don't recognize it.
I mean, the Capitol building itself has to be the female energy, because it looks like a huge tit.
Yeah. Like, what do we make that represents... you know what? I think I've got it.
You're just like, we'll make it a boob.
Okay.
The feminine divine. I dig it. And the what is it? The huge obelisk. The Washington Monument? No. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely the male.
So there's actually, it really is. That's actually what it is. It represents a phallus.
It's either that, or there's like a giant that they built the city over, and he just like, when he got rigor mortis, they just built an obelisk around his dick.
Yeah. So there's actually 3 obelisks in Washington, D.C. Is it Washington? I think so. Might be actually in New York, but one of them is actually a legitimate Egyptian obelisk that they brought from Egypt.
Yeah.
And put it up.
Because those Egyptians, man, they knew masonry.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's how they built them big ass fucking pyramids.
Yeah. Had nothing to do with aliens, for sure. They just, got like 30 guys, lifted up this block, put it in place.
Yeah, no, they didn't. That kind of reminds me, I recently watched this video and this guy was demonstrating these different methods of like moving these huge stones using these conveyors and logs and shit like that. You saw it? Yeah, and he's like, see, how can you look at that and go, oh yeah, it was just aliens? For one thing, that stone you're moving is like an eighth of the size of the stones that are in the fucking pyramid.
Yeah.
So how did you even get it up on that conveyor, fuckface?
Yeah.
So,
well, I used the forklift, but
yeah.
That's just to demonstrate.
I'm not saying it was aliens. I'm just saying man did not create that without some kind of help or tooling.
Yeah, there was definitely some technology involved, and technology that we don't understand anymore today. Just like how we can't go back to the moon because we don't have the technology to do it.
Yeah, we do. It's just in ARVs.
Yeah.
I've actually kind of changed my mind on that a little bit. We did the moon episode and we agreed that they did go to the moon, but the footage that they showed us is bullshit. So my slight variation in that is that the shuttle that took off from this planet was mainly a big cargo hold because it had either an alien reproduction vehicle or an alien original vehicle. They hopped in that motherfucker, flew through the Van Allen radiation belt, went to the moon.
Serious doctoring there.
Doctored the fuck out of that
one.
Yeah. Just a theory I was playing
Just
with.
a theory.
Could be true.
Could be true.
Might not be. Speaking of the moon landing and Freemasons, Buzz Aldrin was a Freemason.
Buzz Aldrin was a Freemason and did a Masonic ceremony on the moon. First thing that they did. So now the moon is technically a Masonic lodge.
See how we segued that one? We just like snipered that bitch right in there, and it was completely.
People thought we were just going on one of those stupid tangents that we go on all the time, and just like, nope. Gotcha.
No, I was totally going on a tangent. Yeah. It just happened to line up. I was in tune with the Christos. Is what happened. So yeah, the entire moon is a Masonic lodge.
Yeah, I wonder how the aliens feel about that.
The reptilians just went out there and like took the flag out. Fuck you, man.
You're leaving your fucking trash over here and it just floats off way into space.
Well, that was actually something kind of tertiary to that was the fucking one of the last people to go on the moon. Talked to this Japanese guy. He was like worked for the Japanese version of NASA. And basically told him, NASA! He had told him, like, the reason we haven't gone back to the moon is because the aliens there told us not to come back.
Makes sense.
So, yeah. They're leaving their fucking trash everywhere. Yeah. There's lunar landers and flags and shit.
And they just went and picked it. Fuck you, Columbus. Discover shit.
You didn't discover shit, motherfucker. It was the Templars. Maybe the Templars went to the moon. Maybe they have a base up there, and that's where they're keeping Jesus' bones.
That's really why they have the knight helmet and shit, so they can breathe.
Yeah. Makes sense. That should be the thumbnail for the Templar video. it's
a spacesuit, knight suit.
Yeah. Right on the front, instead of NASA, it has the 3-pronged cross.
Yeah.
Tight. Get ChatGPT to work. Dude.
There is a movie there.
Copywritten.
Yeah. That's
Templar in space.
Some of those scrolls they found had not only like descriptions on how to build an ark, but an actual ark to go to another planet.
Yeah. I bet Steven Spielberg would make that movie.
Yeah. Get him on the horn. Stevie.
Yo, Steve. My guy. I got an idea for you.
We're going to take Temple of Doom, Last Crusades, meld it with, what is it?
Apollo 13.
Contact of the Third Kind or whatever.
Yeah, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. It's like, hear me out, dude. Knights Templar on the fucking moon. He's like, you son of a bitch, I'm in.
Yeah. Battling space aliens with their fucking swords.
But they're laser swords.
Yeah.
But they're big
Star Wars is that's Star Wars.
Nah, it'd be way cooler than Star Wars.
I mean, the Jedi are pretty much the Knights Templar.
Basically, yeah. So does that mean the Knights Templar had like telekinetic powers too? They tap into the Christos instead of the Force?
I'm using the...
Holy fuck, did we just backtrack Star Wars?
Yeah. George Lucas didn't originate shit, man.
Ah, he probably got that idea from Steven Spielberg because he knows the truth about everything.
Yeah.
That's why he makes the movies he makes.
And that's why they're so good, because it's ingrained with little tidbits of fucking knowledge drops on everybody.
Yeah. I can't wait to see that Disclosure movie that comes out.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be watching super careful because I think he actually knows some shit.
Yeah. I don't think it's a stretch to say that it's not a coincidence that movie's coming out around the same time as the new He-Man movie. I don't know. I don't know what the correlation is there. But it's there, for sure.
He-Man, the gayest superhero of all time. Anyway, we should go back to Freemasons. So let's see.
Buzz Aldrin was a Freemason.
Buzz Aldrin was a Freemason. Winston Churchill, Mozart. And, most importantly, Shaquille O'Neal.
Shaquille O'Neal. Shaquille. Yeah.
Freemason.
I think that, like you said, most people probably know somebody who's a Freemason. And for the most part, I think that the average person who is like a... what is the
entered apprentice?
The entered apprentice is basically just a regular dude that's like just going there for like community,
yeah,
and shit like that. And then even Hugh Newman talks about that. He says that that's pretty much the case. Is most guys go there. It's almost the same as like the Elks Lodges or like the other fraternal groups that are just like community and like fundraising and shit like that,
yeah,
to be a part of something bigger than yourself. But then when you get higher in the degrees, you start to learn different truths about stuff. I mean, the more you study it, the more that you are entered into the realms of this higher knowledge,
yeah,
and secrets that you have to keep.
It's interesting, yeah, because the entered apprentice is basically just like a dues-paying member.
Yeah.
You know, because they are funded off of dues.
Mm-hmm.
But during the 17 and 1800s, a lot of captains of industry were joining the Masons just so that they could kind of commingle with other captains of industry, mm-hmm, and help boom their business, which was kind of against the rules because you were supposed to join to be selfless,
yeah,
not for personal gain. And so, but I think that was actually a good thing because you get all these big figureheads in different industries into Freemasons, you definitely spread your reach.
Yeah.
So I think maybe at the time they knew what was going on, but they're like, you know what, it's going to help us in the long run.
Yeah.
It's kind of like in our union.
It's like Skull and Bones on a mega scale and not nefarious.
Yeah.
For the most part.
And there's no jerking off in coffins,
yeah,
and shit.
Yeah. Let's do without the jerking off in the coffins.
You think maybe the Skull and Bones is in like direct conflict with the Masons? They're like the Socias and versus the Greasers.
Probably. They like have turf wars and shit.
Switchblade. Comb your hair. That'd be tight.
Yeah.
I my money would be on the Masons. There's more of them, and they carry swords.
Yeah. And they have all that hashish and fucking knowledge of being an assassin.
They're just like,
not just a rich fuck doing rich fuck shit.
look at these fucking dorks. They think the presidency is actual power. Nerd.
Watch this. Hop on one foot.
Yeah. You just see Trump over there. I'm doing the best I can. I wonder if Trump is a Mason.
It wouldn't surprise me if he was. I never saw anything about it.
I didn't either.
One thing I found interesting about the Masons and the Knights Templar is that they were really interested in bloodlines.
Mm-hmm.
And that is one thing that is definitely a true thing. And it's like so many it was like 25 out of the first 26 presidents were all related.
Yeah.
Through the same bloodline through one of the kings of France. And it's like an ancient bloodline. And there's Illuminati bloodlines also that when they go through and name like all these different family names, like the Rothschilds and shit like that.
The Rothschilds, the Gitties.
The Gitties. The Pantaveret. But they talk about that being like something that they track and are interested in. Goes along with the whole like Grail, or the bloodline of Christ, which is super fascinating.
It is super fascinating. And the idea that you have these different bloodlines of like the Illuminati and then the Freemasons is really interesting. You could even tie that back to Skull and Bones, because you think about like Bush Sr. and Bush Jr. were both Skull and Bones. So they kind of also have their own bloodlines. It makes you really wonder what the importance is of, it can't just be genealogy. There has to be something else to it.
Yeah.
It's almost like
the Anunnaki.
It's the Anunnaki. It's like different alien races seeded different groups, and that's why they stand for different things.
Could it be possible?
Could it be possible? Like the Nordics were the progenitors of the Freemasons, and then the Anunnaki are the progenitors of the Illuminati kind of thing?
Yeah.
Could be. I don't know. That's a far
I kind of
reach.
really want to look into my wife's genealogy, because her great-grandfather being a Master Mason, and they are Scottish, from Scotland, so it's like one of the OGs of Masons and Knights Templars. I just want to track back and see where they land there. Interesting.
Very interesting.
Maybe she's Anunnaki.
She could be.
Maybe. Probably.
That means your kids are half Anunnaki.
Yeah. Good for them.
But what if you're like from the Illuminati bloodline?
Best of both worlds.
They're just like super aliens.
They're like evil geniuses for good.
Yeah. They can breathe in space too.
Yeah.
Maybe they have telekinetic powers.
Probably.
I don't know.
I wish they would use it to do their chores, though. I'm doing the dishes right now.
You just see the dishes are like Harry Pottering themselves. That'd be tight.
They're like Sword in the Stone, fucking that cartoon.
Yeah.
What is that song? I want to say Bippity Boppity Boop, but that's not it.
Yeah, that's Snow White. Or not Snow White.
Cinderella.
Cinderella. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I do wonder, the bloodline thing, is it a purity thing? Is it I don't know, man. My mind just reels with it.
Yeah.
With different possibilities of
what's
why.
the importance
Yeah.
of like not only just like knowing where you come from and knowing your history, your family history, but like what is the importance of what does that actually stand for?
Yeah.
Because there's so many things that, especially in these two groups, the Knights Templar and Freemasons, that have different meanings, and one thing looks a certain way for a specific reason, or like the numbers that mean something. And that's another thing with the Masons, like the numbers, the whole numbers thing. It's like different things represent different numbers, like however many the number of bones that you have in your skull is like 22 or something like that, and it's like a sacred number or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Really weird.
The study of numerology is something I've been kind of dabbling in a little bit here and there. Like, I think recently I was talking about life numbers, where you take your birthday in completion and add it together and keep reducing it till you get a life path number. So that's something I've been dabbling in, but seeing it come through one of these secret societies the way it has, it gives it a little bit more validity to me.
Yeah, oh, for sure. Like, even if you think about it in terms of, like, a new thing on the internet is, like, the simulation hypothesis of this physical realm that we live in is actually just a simulation of some sort. Binary code just comes down to ones and zeros, and so it's like everything is assigned in numerical order, and like the atoms arranged in a certain numerical order to create this table or whatever. And so it's all just number patterns, and could those numbers dictate who you are and like the path of your life?
Yeah, honestly,
Could you, I mean, if you were able to break that code and read the code, you can determine like where you can add a 0 here, add a 1 here to go down this path of like where you actually want to be.
Yeah. And I think there's also validity to the kind of simulation theory. I just don't think about it in terms of like the Matrix kind of thing. Because I do believe consciousness creates reality. Like, from my perception, this is the reality right now, but from your perception, you may see it a little bit differently.
Oh, yeah.
Because your thoughts create your reality in a way.
Yeah, I just think of it in terms of numbers because of so much of space and space-time is calculations, and they're based on numbers, and so could numbers be the foundation of... And numbers really are just a symbol representation of something that we don't know what it is. Like, it's like 1 is this.
Yeah. Well, and it's the same with geometry, right? Like, I put it through this lens because every time I've taken mushrooms, the first thing I see is geometric patterns. And that's what a lot of people see.
Yeah.
Or on DMT, same thing. They'll see geometric patterns.
And geometric entities also.
Geometric entities. So geometry is kind of like the makeup. But then you start adding in numbers. So you think about, like you mentioned, this table is a series of ones and zeros and atoms. Well, it's in a geometric pattern that the atoms have to form. But how many atoms do you put in there?
Yeah.
And how many of like a specific atom do you put in there, kind of thing?
Well, even just the angles to create those geometric patterns has to be represented by, if you say it's a isosceles triangle or whatever, you can picture what that is just by the term that you're using. There's going to be a specific angle to create the right geometric pattern, and you can label that with a number of like a 90-degree angle or whatever. So there's a number that's associated with that, with the geometry.
Yeah, it's almost like each geometrical shape has a number designation. Like number 6 is a hexagon, you know. So there's something more to it. My tiny little pea brain can't compute it. Because it's, to me, that is the universal language, is geometry. So but again, it's super interesting that people start, taking trips, psychonauting, and that's the first thing you see is geometry. So I think they're onto something.
Yeah. I do think I think that is an element that can be utilized to access that information for sure, like psychedelics. I don't think it's the only way, but I think that it is a way for humans to open up to that.
I agree.
Frequency.
Yeah, I think that just creates a direct neural connection to consciousness in a way that we typically only do accidentally.
Yeah.
Where like the moments where I pick up my phone and I'm about to text you, but while I'm typing something, I get a text from you, kind of thing. So that's the accidental version. psychedelics is like the mainline way.
Yeah.
You just get into the pipe.
Yeah, no Bluetooth connection required.
None.
You're fucking hardlined.
Yeah. Just shut off all the fucking noise in your mind and you can get there.
I do think that I think we've talked about this before, is like people who are like psychonauting using DMT and now are being shut out of the DMT realm.
Yeah.
Which is pretty crazy.
I mean, it's happened to me.
Yeah?
Yeah. So I was trying microdosing, but I was doing it way too much. Like it was to the level I was abusing it. And so I remember I was, have you ever tried microdosing?
No.
Just like a small amount, like a half a gram. So I wasn't like full on tripping, but if I closed my eyes while I was still, like I could see shit in my mind. And I was kind of going through all these different like things in my mind, and just suddenly everything went black. And keep in mind, like, I'm almost physically there, and everything just goes black, but there seems to be like one light kind of right here to where I could see kind of a downcast shadow, and this like demon looking creature, almost looks like Satan, walks right up to me, gets right in my face, and he's like, "Hey, don't come back for a while." And my ego kicked in right away, and I was like, "You're just a figment of my imagination. You can't tell me what the fuck to do." And he's, "No, don't come back for a while." And he was really stern with me, and I was like, "Oh, this is really happening. So I'm going to piss off, and I'll see you when the time's right." He's
I'm
like,
going to put on some cartoons now.
Yeah. So what was crazy is, like, right after that, I snapped right out of it, and I opened my eyes, and, like, all of the mushroom effects were gone. Instantly. Like, I tried to close my eyes, couldn't picture anything. I didn't feel the physical effects, nothing.
Wow.
And I haven't gone back since. That was years ago. But it's one of those things that, because I have the reverence for it again, to where I think of that as a spiritual experience and not something to abuse. Like, I feel like it's safe to go back. I just haven't.
Yeah.
I haven't felt the call for it.
Yeah.
I'll put it that way.
That's crazy.
It was
intense, I bet.
It was potent. It was like I said, once I put my ego to the side, I was like, "You right. I fucked up."
Yeah.
But I owned it. I took accountability.
Yeah, and I think that, like, especially like people who are trying to do that whole thing and they're getting repeatedly denied access to the realm, like, you should probably just like listen to what they're saying.
Yeah. There's a reason you're not allowed.
Yeah.
It's whatever the reason is. Maybe you're just bringing negativity. Maybe you're abusing it in the same way you would alcohol or weed or whatever. Maybe you're just not open enough to actually take anything away from it.
Yeah.
I could see a dozen reasons.
Yeah. Can't imagine being fucking deported from the fucking DMT realm. You got their fucking DMT ICE agents out there fucking kicking people out.
You got the fucking fairies and the gremlins being like, "Get that fucker out of here."
Protesting your fucking coming to the DMT realm.
Or you try to go and they just like kick you in the nuts nonstop. And you're, "All right, I won't come back. Fuck." Do you think you could remote view into one of the lodges?
Oh, I'm sure people have.
It's funny. I've never heard of anybody doing that. As much as I've delved into that, maybe I'm only speculating here. Maybe because they have access to more ancient knowledge or wisdom, that they can block people from doing that.
Maybe.
Interesting thought.
Maybe they have some kind of ritual that creates a bubble.
New rabbit hole unlocked.
Yeah, and that's one of the things of the Freemasons is like the rituals, and I sadly don't know what most of the rituals. I know that there are a lot of secret handshakes and different like speeches and the pageantry that goes along with the whole ceremonies and stuff like that. I think would be really fascinating, and to me, I would have a hard time not laughing if I went into one of those things. Just because it seems like, if I think about it, it just seems like fucking corny.
I have seen some of the videos of some of the ceremonies, and there was one in particular. It's like a big ceremony, and I can't remember what it was, but the video I was watching, they were like, this is the first time ever anybody's ever been able to film this. And I'm watching it, I'm going,
this is what you guys do?
So you have to pay to be part of this, and I have to do that? Nah, pass.
You know that there's like millions of people out there being gay for free, right?
Like the one part that I do understand is dressing more nondescript. Like they would typically just wear a basic suit with a white shirt, but the like sash thing they wear around their waist and the gloves and the goofy swords and shit, it's kind of silly looking.
It is, but it goes back to the Knights Templar and the Masons who, like stonemasons, wore an apron and gloves.
Yeah.
It represents the history of their organization, so I understand that. And the like swords, you're being knighted, Master Mason,
yeah,
pretty much.
I do get it. I get the pageantry. It just looks silly.
Yeah. It's almost like LARPing.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. I think I would prefer the, as far as dress code for secret societies, I'd probably go Hellfire.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll take a robe.
Yeah, take a robe.
So I could just show up wearing whatever, and then I just put the robe on. It's good.
Yeah. Or nothing.
Nothing underneath.
Yeah. You're just ready for that orgy, dude.
Yeah. You ready for that orgy? Or like, you could just like not worry about getting piss on your clothes when you hit your piss bucket while you're playing cards and eating your sandwiches.
Yeah. Like, what are you wearing in your robe? Only a gallon of oil.
Cloven hooves, motherfucker. Let's play some cards.
Deal.
You got like your long fingernails. So anyway, what else did we need to cover with Freemasons?
We talked about like government influence, the degrees. All in all, I think that the Masons are a good organization for the most part. I think that it's more a fraternal like brotherhood of community, and that's what people enjoy about it.
Yeah.
Could there be like some people who are doing nefarious shit within the organization? Yeah. I think
for sure.
Every organization that's people are going to be, some people are just assholes in general.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, my curiosity about what they really do is rampant. But it does seem like it is more philanthropic in nature. It is more benevolent. Like they are trying to better the world in some way. So I can go with that. But I'm just curious, like, what is it they really do?
Mm-hmm.
I almost wonder if these levels of Masonhood up to 33rd, it's like each level you get new information.
Yeah.
Not in like the Scientology kind of way, where, you take these classes and then they teach you something new about like where this Scientology comes from, and up until you get to the top, and then they tell you this horseshit story about Xenu and hate and discontent, whatever. Scientology is fucking stupid, by the way. But I kind of feel like if they are holding more secrets of history and potentially the universe, like that's how you're getting to it. Because if you were told all this great historical and esoteric knowledge all in one sitting, you would lose your fucking mind.
Or not believe it.
But if you work up to it in smaller and smaller pieces, kind of like what we do here, where we tackle a subject and that leads into another one, and we keep getting more pieces of the puzzle, eventually we're going to solve it.
Oh, yeah.
So it's
like looking into this like 2 years ago, it might be like, these guys are fucking dumb. What the fuck?
Gay!
Ancient aliens are calling. But now, going through this whole like series of topics that we've covered, it seems like the Knights Templar are the fabric that's woven everything together throughout history of like, they're just so interwoven with all of these things that have happened.
Yeah, for sure. It's tentacles and everything.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I found so fascinating about this subject, because, you know, I cannot be unconvinced that it's not all connected. Right?
Yeah.
Everything has connective tissue somewhere, which is why you can take something like telepathy and then merge it with Freemasons. You know, you can get there some way in kind of a 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon kind of thing.
Yeah.
So seeing how interwoven Knights Templar really is was the most interesting thing to me.
Yeah.
Because we look at, you know, 09A, it's really not connected in that same way. It's connected in a secret society kind of way, but you couldn't connect it somewhere else.
Right. I think that like a lot of these other secret societies that we've talked about have almost based their model off of the Freemasons like organization or the Knights Templar, where it's it has to be secret and you have to like prove your membership or whatever. It's almost like they're just taking a playbook and then making their own shit out of it. But I think that's how a lot of those things work. Like, you see something that's super successful and has a long history of doing something, and they just use it to do what they want to do.
Yeah. And I think what really differentiates not only Freemasons but Knights Templar from the other ones we've talked about is the other ones are, their connective tissue is either a sense of belonging or debauchery in some way, shape, or form. Even with Skull and Bones, where it's like, yeah, I'm part of this secret society, but I have to do these fucking goofy things, and it really doesn't get you anything. It's, in a way, it's almost like, what do you call it? It's almost like a monarchy, too, where your dad did it, so you have to do it, even if you don't want to. Or 09A is taking all these people who don't have a sense of belonging or family and then making them terrorists.
Yeah.
Or Hellfire Club, where it's like, hey, we just want to be able to drink, play cards, and fuck everybody we want. Versus these two, it's more like the people who join them are more bound to do the right thing. Like, they're more interested in making the world a better place.
Yeah.
Especially with Templars, where they kind of like, they're not supposed to be married and they're not supposed to have like worldly possessions and things like that. You're giving up your sense of individuality to serve the greater good.
Right.
And Freemasons are kind of the same way. Like, they are trying to better their communities and better the overall state of the world. So I think that really kind of drew me in.
Yeah.
Instead of just looking at debauchery and terrorism and general points of evil, like, these are probably really the good guys.
Yeah. It was I'll say refreshing to go through this Knights Templar and Freemasons research, just because of the ones that we've done, like the other secret societies that we've done. This was like refreshing to get like, okay, these people like seems like they want to do good, and instead of like stupid shit.
Yeah. That's why it's hard to shit talk on them.
Yeah.
Even with their goofy sashes and shit. Like, the Templars look dope.
Yeah.
The fucking chainmail and their beards and
Fucking
big
warrior
swords.
monk, dude.
Bad looking motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And then you got the Freemasons wearing their gloves with their apron. You're just like, okay. Cool guys. Maybe.
I think the Masons look kind of cool in the Scottish Rite. Like, you got a kilt on with the apron sash thing.
Yeah, that's tight.
That's tight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I nearly pest my cult. I dig it. So yeah, there wasn't shit to solve in this one either, but that wasn't the goal.
No.
The other ones were easy to solve.
We're just trying to put out some information that might be interesting to other people to look into it for themselves.
I agree.
On these ones, like,
yeah.
Definitely check out the Knights Templar. Super interesting organization, and a rich history and possibly world-changing information if they actually do have it.
Which would be tight.
Which would be tight.
And who better to release it than the Freemasons?
I don't know.
It's right there in the title, man. Free.
Freemasons.
Free up the information.
Yeah.
I don't care if it destroys the church.
Oh well.
Bummer. Anyway, I think we'll pull it there, Doctor.
Doctor.
Later, Tater.
Bye.